Okay. Okay, so the mother of all contests, and that's not India and Pakistan, it's the Border and Gavaskar Trophy back. This time, Australia is visiting India. The first test match is starting in a couple of days, and we can't wait because it's not only the red ball cricket which is back between one of the two best sides, it's also the equation of who plays the finals of the World Test Championship. It's
Test
happening in
championship.
London again. It's happening in
Yeah,
Lords again this, right?
it's not the Lords. I think it's an Oval. I believe so. Not
Okay,
not the
but it's
Lords, but it's
happening.
Oval.
It's
But
happening
it's
in
in
the
London,
UK where England
England.
is not
Yes, yes,
playing,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So Gopal, I think what excites me, and I'm sure it excites you as well, is the red ball cricket is back, right? That's the purest form of cricket, and what better it can be than having India and Australia play this form of cricket with so many things on at stake, right? So, what's your immediate reaction to the red ball cricket coming, and it's happening in a couple of days?
It's pretty exciting, Shandan. It's pretty exciting. Border Gavaskar Trophy, as the name says, it has been always exciting. Starting from the 1996, the one-off test, then the 1998 where Sachin was smashed one, then your 2001 when Harbhajan took the hat trick. Hayden scored humongous runs. We came back into the match after being fallen. 2003 when we visited, Rahul Dravid scored that magnificent double hundred. So there have been absolutely plenty of memories, plenty of fight. Kohli scoring those twin hundreds against in Australia. The last series that we played, Punt scoring those runs. Ashwin and Vihari staying at the wicket and I mean getting a draw, and then the Gaba fortress. Uh, of course, I mean 36 all out also was one of the stories in that tour. But I mean, all this definitely gives you extremely excitement of Australia coming into India, and as you rightly said, it is actually a series. It's a do or die series for India to get into the WTC finals. Given Australia has already qualified for it, I don't think Australia will get dropped out of the top two, given any scenarios that happens. But India has a good chance of getting into the finals, and none better than the Australians to beat. So I mean, extremely excited. The
Yeah.
only the only lack of excitement probably brings to me is BG. I mean, Border Gavaskar Trophy. When you see, it's always been a Chennai ground. I mean, the MA Chidambaram Stadium features a very very big iconic match of an India Australia Test matches. For that matter, any Test match, but in India Australia Test matches. I'm surprised that there's not a Test match in Chennai. I mean, I would have loved to go and watch
Yeah,
that.
I, I was about to tell you that are you disappointed with the selection of venues, but see that's what
Yes,
happens when you have 50 plus stadiums in
correct.
a country where you try to cater to all the crowds of all the regions. But I think this entire Border Gavaskar Trophy has been historic, right? Started in 1996, and this is the last edition. Okay, so we'll not have another Border Gavaskar Trophy again. So it's a 27 years of history. India slightly have the upper hands, not slightly, but they have the upper hand majorly because we have won in Australia a lot, but
Correct.
not that cannot be said consistently for Australia. And that is why Steve Smith in his press conference yesterday said that
It's
no,
bigger
probably
than Ashes.
it's bigger than the
Bigger than
Ashes, right? So
Ashes.
so do you think it's it's probably and let me ask you this question, the probably the biggest question. Do you think it's the best time to beat the Indian side in India? Because if you look at the batting, you have a Rohit coming after almost a year of not playing Test cricket. You have Shubman Gill who doesn't have a lot of experience in Test matches. Virat Kohli has not been in runs. Pujara, yes, he has been under some runs. Then you have KL Rahul who had a horrendous, forgettable Bangladesh tour. You do not have Pant. Bharat is going to keep for I think the first times he's going to debut, and then you have the rest of the bowlers. So looking at the batting, there is definitely a thing in the armory for sure. So do you think it's the best time to beat the Indian side in India?
It is, considering the squad that we have lined up, and the factors that you had mentioned, being Rohit out of injury, and you have an inexperienced lineup, Punt not being there, all those Ravindra Jadeja coming back from injury, all those
Yes.
all those all those are factors, are no doubt about it. But I don't. But I mean, I I really feel that probably this will Virat Kohli would give everything to this particular four Test match series, because it's going to be probably his last border Gavaskar trophy that he's going to play part of it. I hope so. I don't see him playing Test cricket for too long. Uh, maybe he'll have to move forward if he's looking after 2023 as his last peak. So Rohit Sharma will be tested, and given all the conditions and all the talks that they have had, and given what Australia have done in the Australian summer, beating I think South Africa and West Indies convincingly, I think they will be, and now they are on the tabletoppers of the WTC points as well. They will fancy their chances, but beating India in India is a humongous effort. I mean, they know that it's not going to be an easy task at all. I mean, although yes, we might say that Australia batting is slightly ahead of India's batting on the recent form. Khwaja, Warner, Labuschagne, Head, Smith, and you have Carey. The top six playing a huge role in their in getting the top order runs. But in India, it is going to be a very stiff target to face Ashwin and maybe Aksar and maybe Kuldeep. I'll fancy it out in a turning track. So we'll have to wait and watch. But yes, it's a good opportunity for Australia to make a history in the BGT series.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point that I think it's not going to be easy defeating India in India, right? So there is a lot of talk about the pitch and how it is going to be. So the first reports that's coming out of Jamta in Nagpur is that it's going to be a dry pitch, which means you can expect a lot of turn from day one itself.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
surely as it moves to day three, see, we don't see a lot of 5 day test matches, and really, I mean, a couple of first inning scores of 500 plus, and fans these days will criticize those pitches as flat decks, correct? But then we like test matches which gets over between 3 to 4 days, of course, right? So what are you expecting out of the pitch? And if this is a turning track, or let's say it gets the ball to turn from day to day three, of course, I think you'll go with three spinners and two seamers. So who are going to be your three spinners in that case?
Um, Jadeja keeping fit. I
He is
will
fit. Yeah.
fancy.
So consider Jadeja as fit. Yes.
I will fancy Jadeja in these top 11. I mean, I'll have to give that Aksar that hard stop. Given Jadeja is back, and given knowing Jadeja, what Jadeja can do, so Jadeja, Ashwin, and maybe Kuldeep will be my three spinners for
And
for
and
us.
and tell
Uh,
me one thing. So will you use Kuldeep as your third spinner? Because my only concern is every time he is used, and we've seen it in Bangladesh, every time he is used as the third spinner, he is under bowled. And he is the one who gets you those crucial wickets, even if when the ball is, you don't get a turning track, right? So will you use him as the second spinner instead of Jadeja? Because I'm sure Ashwin will be the first, or you will use him as a third spinner.
See, it all depends on how much the pitch is turning, Shantan. If it is a rank turner, and that is what I'm expecting out of Nagpur as per Jamta pitch, if it's a rank turner, I'll definitely want. I mean, it's a mixed bag. So I'll probably go with Kuldeep for the first lot, and then because I mean, you have Steve Smith and Labuschagne right-handers. I'll still want Kuldeep to bowl those googlies to them, which will take out of. I mean, it will go away from them. But then, if things matter, I'll any case lose Jadeja in a frequent of spells, because in such cases also, when the ball is turning such large, I also want a bowler who will probably not turn the ball as much as it should turn, and then the LBW comes into play straight away. So
Mhm,
I'll use, but then yes, in all probability, Shantan, it will be the first three. I mean, the three spinners. I might. I mean, I will be, in fact, I mean, if the pitch is so dry, the pitch is extremely dry, uh, and I mean, it's going to turn for sure. Why don't we? I mean, why do you need two fast bowlers? Take four spinners.
Oh, see, I mean, my only concern with four spinners is, one of them will definitely be wasted. So you'll not probably take the advantage of the new ball for sure, right? But tell me, I mean, we spoke about, Indian team probably is not in the best shape. On papers, it looks good, but not they're not coming out of a lot of red ball cricket. But Australia has their own set of challenges, right? So you don't have Stark for the first two test matches. Now you don't have Hazelwood probably for the first and second. And what I hear is even Cameron Green may not be a surety to start on the first test itself, right? That's what I think Smith said in the press conference. Now you're not a team who depends a lot on spin. You'll probably have a lot of overs bowled by Nathan Lyon, but then you will have to depend on the likes of Scott Bolland, a lot on Cummins as well. But these likes of Scott Bolland and others have never played in India, and they've not even played a lot of Test matches as well. So I think Australia will have their share of challenges over here as well. So who along with Lyon do you see as the other spinners who are going to be like? Because keep in mind that they have a lot of part-time spinners. So Labuschagne can spin, Smith can spin, Travis Head
They
can spin the ball, and then you have Nathan Lyon. So you anyways have four spinners, and then you will have the others that you pick up.
I was actually, Shayantan, I was actually very surprised to see Australia didn't pick Zampa. I would have actually
Yeah.
what would have loved to take Zampa in the squad, because I mean you history says that Indians these days are vulnerable to leg spin bowling, be it T20, be it one days, or even test matches,
No, but
and
they, see, they have picked one leg spinner, but I don't think
Swepson,
he's very
Swepson,
Swepson. But
Swepson.
yeah, Swepson, and he actually, I mean, he went in that Pakistan series as well, and he actually played some of the matches and didn't pick a lot of wicket because he bowls a
It
lot
was
of
dry.
hit.
No, it was,
He bowls a lot of hit me balls as well in his
correct,
in his 6 overs
correct.
overs.
I see Ashton Agar playing in the 11. I think that they will go with the left armer. Given that Indians don't play left arm spin that well, even in the Bangladesh tour we saw that we are
India don't play
vulnerable
spin well these days.
these days, exactly. But then left arm spinners is even more a debatable topic these days. So I see Ashton Agar, and as you rightly said, see Cameron Green. I was actually looking forward for his performance, because I mean he's one player who can probably turn the match between with his bowling and batting. So I mean, I'll be a little disappointed if he doesn't take part in BGT, but then I hope he recovers from injury, because he's one guy who can that number six position, who can actually fill in that Gilchrist role, come hit and then I mean score a breezy 60 70, and then completely take the momentum to the opposition.
He is more like the Shane Watson that used to be there in the Australian squad, who will give you runs, who will field brilliantly in those slip cordons and gully, and then he'll bowl and because
Correct,
he's quite
correct.
a nifty bowler, right? He bowls
Very nice
140
bowler.
plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think he will be missed, but I think if he misses out, he'll only miss out the first test matches. So I think things are heating up. Probably both the teams will not filled in their best available 11. But tell me, here is the dilemma. So, if and I think both Gill and KL Rahul will play, who, as per you, should open along with Rohit Sharma? Should it be Gill? Should it be KL Rahul? And if one doesn't open, where does that person plays?
I'll still prefer Gill to open, Shantan, because he has opened in Australia, and he has opened in these days in one ODIs as well. So I'll probably give him that comfortable position of opening in the test matches. Given that in India the new ball will not do that much, and within a few overs you might end up getting some spinners as well. And Gill generally plays spin really well. He looks composed playing spin. So I'll probably want to have Gill at number two along with Rohit Sharma, and
And then
he's
you
also
play
very
Rahul at then
at
you play
number
Rahul at
five,
number 5.
number five. The reason being is, and I mean, it is a See, Gill also scores along with Rohit Sharma. He's not that he's a slow starter, and I mean, God forbid if Rohit gets out quickly, then when Pujara comes in, you have Gill at the other end to score that brisk run. So I mean, he'll keep
Mm.
the scoreboard ticking. So I'll always, and given that Rohit's confidence is not that great, I will still want Rohit to. Sorry, Rahul's confidence is not that great. I will not probably expose him to the new ball. I'll keep him down the order.
And I think that might still happen because again today in the press conference when one of the reporters asked Rahul that whether he's opening or not, he said that I'm flexible to play at any position that my team wants me to do, right? So if it was already decided that he will open, he would have probably said that yes, it is me and Rohit who's opening. Who knows? And tell me one thing, and then probably for surety this is not going to happen. Do you think Ishan Kishan is playing ahead of KS Bharat because his keeping was not clean in the last few matches? You may not risk with a part-time keeper, with a lot of spin bowling happening in a test match.
Shouldn't be. I would really want Bharat to come in because I mean having said having missed punt very badly. I remember in one of the series, if I'm not wrong, the last home series that we played, I think he was against New Zealand. He was keeping for a while in one of
Mm-hmm,
the test matches, wherein I think punt got injured or something happened, and then he was keeping it out, and he quite a reasonable job. So I think it's
mm-hmm,
time for us to invest on Bharat as well. Don't
mm-hmm.
risk getting Ishant into the squad because that is going to change your complete squad dynamic. Actually, we don't know how Ishant is going to bat. I mean, he definitely cannot bat like the way he does in T20s and ODIs. So I mean, let's give an opportunity to Bharat. What's wrong in that? So I don't want. I will. I
Okay.
should. I shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't go with Ishant. But before you go to the next question, Chandan, I would like to you. I would like you to give probably one such memory that you have of this BGT series. Any one memories.
You see, I have multiple, right? And then as you can understand,
And
at
I
27
will tell you
years of history.
I'll tell you mine.
Yes, but I think the biggest memory of this series is going to be when Glenn McGrath was LBW against Harbhajan in the Kolkata Test because I was a student of class 11 at that time and I was present on the ground, so I know the entire ground. And then the build up as well. So my father gave me a ticket, and I had my exams in the morning. So he said that only if you are sure that you are going to visit the stadium, I'm going to give it, or else I'll go. It's the fifth day ticket. The match was pretty much, about to be a drawn match at that point. I think it was 10:30 when my exams got over, and I was like, should I go because it's still some far, and a lot of public transports those days that you have to break and go. So when I still remember when I was trying to get inside Eden Gardens, it's a Colosseum, right? There was a huge roar. So outside Eden Gardens, if there is a huge roar, there is a
The
opponent
wicket.
wicket which has gone down, right? So there was a huge roar, and I just got to know that it was Ricky Ponting who got out or someone like that at that point. So I, rushed in. I think there were only 2 or 3 wickets down at that point. And then the last 2 3 hours and the way the match ended, Sachin came to bowl, three
Sachin's ball
wickets that he picked,
and he takes
right?
and he beats Shane Warne with a googly actually
With a googly and
with
caught
a
him
googly.
LBW, yeah, with a googly and all those things. And then when it was closing down, just a few overs left, and that famous finger that got raised. Who was the umpire? I keep forgetting
Jay
his name.
Prakash, no,
No,
Jay
he was
Kumar,
not
no.
Jayaprakash, but he was one of the umpires who always used to move and then and give decisions,
Then given
right?
decision, yeah.
So, so that was my memory of.
Bansal, no, SK Bansal, no.
I think it was SK Bansal. If I think you are right. But what is your big memory of this Border
Oh,
Gavaskar Trophy?
mine Border Gavaskar Trophy. I mean, my first visit to a cricket ground was the '97 Test match, a 1998 Test match that happened in the second Test match that happened in Kolkata. So I think day one, Javakal Srinath bowls that opening spell, 233 all out Australia. And then day two, when I go in, it's Lakshman and Sidhu opening the batting, and they smack the Aussie bowlers all round the corner. And then Dravid comes in, and they score 90s each. Dravid comes in. Sachin peaks a score of about 79 odd in no time. hitting Shane Warne over mid wicket and over for a couple of
Was
sixes.
that which ground was that? It was in Eden.
It was in Eden, yeah, it was in Eden. My first visit was in
Ah,
Eden.
so
Second test match. The
so
first was
oh
in
yeah, you were me and you were in the schools during that time. So you were in
correct,
Kolkata that time.
correct.
And
So
I
first
think
was
Azhar scored a lot of runs, didn't he?
163, 163, 163 he will score.
And
So
if I'm not wrong, he it was Mark who was bowling to him when he was on 99. He stepped out and
and
he just
he stepped
you
down
know
and hit
all
over
he had the full toss over Spelling.
full
Yeah,
toss over Kwelek for a six. Yeah. So that's I mean that set up for me the Border Gavaskar Trophy. And after that, of course, I mean we had our tour in '99 where we lost 3-0. They came back to us 2001. I mean 2001 in Eden also was an epic test matches, right? I mean you Harbhajan Singh taking a hat trick, Hayden scoring that century. First day end, I thought, I mean, we will clean up. I think they were 290 for 8. And then suddenly next day when we went to school and we saw at lunchtime, I mean, the Aussies were still batting at 400 for 8. And Steve was scoring that magnificent century. So, I mean,
yeah.
India, Australia, Border Gavaskar Trophy has been the entire childhood memories for me, all around, Shine.
So quickly,
Don't
Gopal.
don't forget.
What,
I mean, not to forget the Perth, the Monkey Gate the incident. Ishan's that spell of bowling to Ponting. Oh man, I mean, I can just
yeah.
talk.
So it was Ishan's bowling, and then the rise of this guy, and there is so much. You remember, and then that's why I keep talking about the part-time spinners. Michael Clark picking up 6 wickets
6 wickets, yeah, in the
out
Bombay test. In
of in the
Bombay test,
Bombay
six for
test out
nine.
of for 9 runs, right?
Yeah,
So and then I think in one of the matches in Bombay, I think it was 101 run or 105 runs that Australia needed to win. The
93
final
all
innings
out.
got bowled out 93 all out.
93,
So
93.
yeah, so and in the recent couple of series in Australia, the way the Indians have played, and I think from here on, I don't think playing in Australia and winning is going to be an issue because now you have a range of players who plays the short ball really
Short
well,
ball well.
right?
Correct.
And they play a lot of fast, and you have that pace bowling armor that can go in any kind of pitches and can knock 20
Absolutely.
wickets as well. So I think they
Absolutely.
will still be. I think they will still be troubled a bit in England where the ball is swinging. In New Zealand, the ball is swinging. There is a lot of seam in South Africa, but
South
I don't think
Africa.
Australia is going to be any difficult any further going forward for the Indian
Correct.
team. Quickly, Gopal, as we come to an end of this session, what are the three things that you want to do right if you're the Indian captain for the first test?
First thing is win the toss, most important. In the toss and bat. I don't want to bat in that pitch for the whole day because it's. I mean, even if it's a 100 target, it's going to be a challenging one.
Yeah.
Given Nathan Lyon is going to be very dangerous, I really don't want to
Mhm.
take that chance. So win the toss, and I would really want Kohli to play his natural game, score runs. That's my wish as a captain. I mean, if I would have been the captain, of course, yes. But then as a spectator as well, I really want him to be aggressive in the field, showing those high fives and everything. And I want Mohammed. I mean, I'm looking to see how Shami and Siraj bowls. I'm really looking forward for them because probably at some point in time they will get to bowl, and that probably could be a deciding factor for me in the due course of the test match whether they are able to pick some wickets if the spinners are not able to take it out. So from Indians
Mhm.
perspective, from an Australian perspective, I'll definitely want Steve Smith to be get out soon because he's in the prime form of his life. I mean, he's been scoring runs. He can score runs in any format of the game as it goes. Scoring some twin centuries in BBL, fast centuries as well, and some test centuries in Australia as well. So his wicket is going to be a very important one. Ashwin, I feel again he'll be. I mean, he'll take Warner as he has been doing regularly. Is what I feel it out. Usman Khawaja will be the one to look forward. I mean, I'm keen to look forward for Usman Khawaja, but then again, being a left-hander, I mean, Ashwin is very strong in against lefties. So we don't know. We'll have to wait and watch. But all in all, a good series that can be looked upon. I really hope that India comes out in a winning manner.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason India should panic or do anything. I mean, we should go for a 4-0 victory.
Yeah, and in case any Australian fan or any the Australian media or anyone from the Australian team is listening to this podcast from just another cricket podcast, here are my three humble, gentle advices for the Australian team and the captain. One is I think spin is going to play a big part in this series. So for their batters, I think they should at least feel confident and try and use their feet because if they are stranded in the crease, the Indian bowlers are going to be all over them, right? Try and use the crease, step out, negate the spin, and you don't have to every time step out and play big shots, but at least that way you can counter the spin. Try and force the bowlers to change their length as well. That's one thing that I would definitely want them to do. The second thing that I would want their bowlers, their fast bowlers, because I think they'll still have a lot of dependence on the fast bowlers, is to bowl very straight, right? And because Indians are very good on the pads, they're very good if you give them room, but bowl straight. That's something that McGrath and Gillespie and the other fast bowlers who toured, even James Anderson did very well. One of the reasons why some of them have done so well in Indian soil is that they've bowled very straight. Try and use the reverse swing a bit. With dry conditions, the ball will get roughed up a little quickly, and you can really use the reverse swing, which means you will get a lot of bold and LBW out as well. Unlike in Australia, where you try to bowl in the fourth, fifth stump to get the ball, nicked to the wicket keepers and the slip. And the third thing that I would request or advise is that I think together, whenever someone gets a start, try and convert it. Okay, make it a
Big time.
little
Yeah.
big. You have because in India, in such conditions, you really have to get a good first innings total. I still
Correct.
feel batting for the first couple of days will be probably the best. So even if you're playing the first innings, which is let's say the second day of the test matches, it's still going to be good batting conditions. You can take a leaf out of the England page book where you can always try and score a little quickly, right? Because if you play slow innings, you will get eventually out, right? So if there is a bad ball, please go hit them, and I'm sure that's what they're going to do as well. But I think these are the three things that I think if Australia does well, they will definitely have more than a chance. But I still think it's not going to be that easy to beat India. I'm, I'm, I'm sure there will be four results in all the four matches, and I think it's gonna be a 3-1. This Australian team is not one that you can just ignore. I think it's going to be 3-1, but I'll absolutely be over the moon if it is 4-0.
For
Any
nil. Yeah.
final comments, Gopal, before we call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, so exciting test match that we are looking forward. I think we should all enjoy the battle between Cummins and Rohit Sharma, Lyon and Kohli, and I mean we'll have to just enjoy. And nothing to see. I don't see any pitch being spoke about. I mean, has been spoken about by Ian Healy and all those stuffs. I don't think that those are relevant anymore because when we tour Australia, we are not given a flat track. We are given a bouncy track. So let them come here. Let them prove a point that yes, they are capable of playing spin and be the world champions. No, no, no,
Yep,
no, no
yep,
hard feelings.
absolutely. So I think a well-respected, well-loved team by fans all around the world, absolutely in their own countries. All the best to them, and may the Border Gavaskar Trophy begin with a bang in a couple of days. You're watching just another cricket podcast. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up. Please put your comments and please subscribe to the channel. This is Shayantan along with Gopal signing off. You have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.